This is the story of a young girl who saved for 6 years and walked 25 miles to own a Bible in her own language. Many years ago, a little girl lived with her mother in a small grey stone cottage in the Welsh countryside. Her father was a weaver who worked very hard to support his family.
Sunday mornings, Mary, dressed in her Sunday best, would walk to the little chapel in the village 2 miles away. At the front, the minister would open a large leather-bound book. As he began to read, Mary would marvel at the wonderful words and store them up in her heart. After the service, she would go cautiously to look at the impressive book. There were 2 words printed in gold on its cover. Mary guessed that these said Holy Bible because she had heard the minister mention the name of the book. The words inside looked odd to her.
How can anyone make sense of these squiggles? Oh, how I wish I could read this book for myself, or even have one for my own.
And on Sunday morning, the minister announced that a school was to open in the village. Mary was excited.
Now I can learn to read and make sense of those strange marks in the book at the chapel.
That is exactly what Mary did.
For
6 long years, she saved all she could until the day came when she had enough money to buy a Bible. Mr. Evans had told her that there was a man in a town called Bala who had a number of Bibles. Mary, now 15, told her mother that she was going to Bala.
Mum, I'm going to walk to Bala.
But Mary, that's nearly 25 miles away.
But there was no change in Mary's mind. She had waited too long for that. So with her purse of money and some bread and cheese tied up in a bundle, she set off.
The journey to Bala seemed endless. Mary followed many paths, crossed valleys and streams, and found her way around hills. As her weariness grew and her aching limbs seemed almost too much to bear, she muttered words of encouragement to herself.
Come on, Mary. Not much farther now.
Eventually, she came to the brow of a hill from which she could see the edge of a town. Dusk was falling and candlelight began to flicker in cottage windows. Mary's heart pounded with excitement. Here was Bala at last. She recognised...
Please, can you show me the way to Mr. Charles's house?
After knocking on several doors and asking for directions, she found his house. She ran up the garden path and knocked loudly on the large oak front door. As it was opened, Mary made her request for a Bible, the words tumbling over themselves in her eagerness.
I've walked 25 miles to get here. I've saved up for 6 years to buy a Bible. I've got the money here. You can count if you like. Please, can I have a Bible?
You'd better come in and tell me all about it. But first, you must have something to eat. You must be famished.
After she'd eaten, Mary told Mr. Charles everything. He was moved by her account and he held out to her a brand new Bible. Mary stared at it for a long moment before taking it with both hands. Then she expressed her heartfelt thanks. When they arrived back in Champsy Handle, everyone was cheering.
Hooray! Look, it's Carshalton!
And wanted Mary to show them her Bible. As she held up the book for all to see, she murmured a few quiet words.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Mr. Charles.
In his study, Mr. Charles remembered how the young girl had disappeared over the brow of a hill, still holding the new Bible to her chest. He began to think of all the other Mary Joneses who must be wanting Bibles, not only in Wales, but in England, Scotland, Ireland, and even in more distant lands. In 1804, the British and Foreign Bible Society was formed by Thomas Charles and other important men in response to needs which stories like that of Mr. Jones had brought to light. Bible Society is working for the day when the Bible's God-given revelation, inspiration and wisdom is shaping the lives and communities everywhere.